What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Game Night Lounge and to another episode of Under Review. And this week we are talking about We Happy Few, the new Xbox Live exclusive, or the Xbox exclusive, as I should say. The indie game that has been in development for quite a while has finally released. And when I say finally released, I mean an actual full-fledged game and not just, a sandbox game that we were given before. So we want to welcome you to Wellington Wells. It's a British setting that takes place in 1964, where a non-Nazi Germany empire is now in power. And yes, that means that this game takes place in an alternate history timeline. So any of you fans of alternate history, this game is right up your alley. America chose to remain neutral, and Germany ended up winning the war. So under German control, the citizens of Wellington Wells chose to hide their wrongdoings by succumbing to a pill that they call joy. Now, joy is like the game's major acid trip. So if you know what I'm talking about, it makes you forget everything and essentially wiping your memory away and replacing it with colorful, happy thoughts all into your brain. So as the world around you deteriorates and bad things happen, you see it as good things. So essentially what might make you sick in real life would actually taste very good or look very good with this pill. So basically, if you choose not to take this drug, it's essentially exactly what it is. It's a drug. If you choose not to take the drug, you're what they call a downer. And a downer is illegal. So essentially, you have to be on this drug. There is no way around it. You are on this drug or you are breaking the law. And every citizen has this distinct smile mask. You can see it in the cover art. You can see it in all the gameplay videos that you ever watch of this game. So they wear this mask, and it has like this distinct smile / Joker face, a Joker face, and they wear it to express their happiness. So while everything in the world around them is awesome, so everything is awesome, the reality is that the world around them is dark and falling apart. Some of the residents are becoming ill and dying off in gutters and are never looked for ever again. And they are never even looked at or sought after by other citizens of the world. The world feels very close in resemblance to BioShock, and I even said it even feels a little bit close to Dishonored. All the way from the crafting system to the steampunk feel, and even the combat is very BioShock / Dishonored-like. There are 3 distinct protagonists in this game. And you assume the rule of all 3. Arthur, who works on reviewing news and decides whether he needs to censor the stories or not. Sally, Arthur's childhood friend. And then there's Ollie, who is the neighbor of Arthur. So all 3 of these characters have different storylines that intertwine with each other. Probably a bad time. So they all kind of come together, but they're all going after different redemptions in this story. So yeah, there are 3 separate stories that play differently, and the characters themselves play differently. But collectively they come together and at the point in the story. However, each is after a different plot in this very crazy world of hallucinations. Many of your enemies that you find are people that you will run into that are just as crazy. And if you are not mindful of what you are wearing or wielding in your hands in the open, it could mean angering the wrong people and fighting much more than you really need to. So you got to play this game smart. Also, this game is a grind. You'll be spending most of your time progressing in the story instead of progressing in the story to finding material just to survive. So yes, you have to eat, you have to drink to keep your stamina up. Now, it won't kill you, but you do have to eat and drink to keep your stamina up.
I'll see what I can do.
And We Happy Few has been in early access for a few years with the sandbox mode, but now we are getting a flushed out story. So But with all this time, I will have to say that it didn't feel completely there, if that makes any sense. The game does have issues. Combat can be a bit wonky. The camera system can be a little bit jarring. And the voice acting is not that great. It could be a little bit over the top. The grind is just a bit way too much. It takes way too much away from the story. But the environment is extremely interesting, and we love it. Very, very BioShock. Very, very Dishonored. It takes many inspirations from both those games. And of course, playing the story, the build-up leads to a very, very disappointing ending with not much replayability at all. So I will say this. If you're going, because you know the stories of Dishonored, you know the stories of BioShock, they had a very, very satisfying story with a very, very satisfying ending, maybe even an open ending. This game does not have that. It has an ending that leaves you kind of like, really? That's all I get? Not much replayability after that, because the game itself is such a major grind. So for that, we give this game, We Happy Few, a 6.5 out of 10. And, you know, it could have been a lot more than it was. So that's going to do it for this show. We thank you guys for watching. Please let us know what you think in the comments. And until next time, game on.